Well, Aaron has the worst or best luck because originally the idea was to mock him for misleading his audience and wasting our time by putting out this weird video about Miss Moss and her, quote, leaving Scientology. Spoiler alert, none of that is happening. None of that is real. But we'll have to make fun of Uranus and his misleading titles another day. Listen, I've been there that you have to make some juicy titles to really pump up the algorithm, but yeah, that was really pointless to do that. But like Uranus, I have to change my mind here because I apparently decided to vote a whole section of a recent video to attacking DOA. Now I've been critical of DOA and I keep getting contradictory messages. I'm too supportive. I'm not critical enough. Yada yada yada. I need to be more love letters to DOA, less hate mail. Other people are like no more hate mail. I don't know. I'm all over the place, I guess, for too many people, and I need to hunker down and just hate the man. I will just give one note. And again, these are not laughing matters. There is something serious here about the constant haranguing and back and forth. But Crazy Love had a recent stream, which I was a part of, where DOA made a lot about a certain noodle. I'm not joking with you. He got into a big fight over a noodle. And I'm like, I didn't even know what a noodle was. And then I looked that up because I've been to swimming pools and I'm like, oh, that's a thing. Because I'm like, oh, is that what kids are on? Apparently, Crazy Love's son was on a noodle and that created a massive crisis. Okay, I think it's fair to say DOA can be productive and have some good points and good criticisms about the Church of Scientology and the Church of Uranus, but he can also sometimes just do destructive things that are distractions and don't seem to go anywhere. So I'm forced to agree a little bit with what Aaron is saying that sometimes DOA does things that are pretty destructive and it's not clear why it's destructive. But to put it mildly, Aaron is no angel, so what is he upset about? And I also keep getting this alarming trend I'm noticing when he doesn't like you and hates you. He keeps saying your full name. Why? What is the point of doing that? And tries to give a lot of private information. Listen, I'm not dumb. Clearly, he's trying to get Scott into trouble and perhaps even get him into some physical danger, which is illegal. You can't do that. I will be more respectful. I'm not going to use the full name. I don't see the reason to do that. That's me. So, on a first name basis, Aaron is calling out Scott for revealing things about his private relationship with Lara FM. To be consistent, he used her full name. Why? Don't know. But that's just Aaron, who, when he doesn't like you, wants to destroy you, docks all your information, and somehow hope, I guess, that Scientology will get rid of you. Okay, that's kind of weird and curious. So apparently, Scott is bad because he's noticing a lot of the ex-Scientology people are pretty toxic, which is fairly obvious that they're very toxic. And Aaron doesn't like the DOA's making this information public, even though they're antics. And let's be generous, it's a lot of people now. It's Aaron, Serge Ilmar, Jenna Miscavige, and Nora, and others. If they don't like you or you step out of line with their propaganda, and again, I want to clarify that they have different kinds of propaganda. Uh, Serge is more into the Nimkus numbskullery and whatever. His kids cannot consent to hoteling or so whatever. And he's a bit all over the place. Like, he sometimes does a lot of lives and streams. Now he's just doing a couple of posts and stuff. He also did like a gay pride march for reasons. Okay, Jenna is less gay, but also pretty toxic and deceptive, and she's just been doing an endless splurge of autobiographical revisionisms for whatever reason. So the tone and perspective are different, but they do seem to be united in that DOA is evil. And I, I was just pretty stunned at how much Scientology speak that Aaron was using, that quote unquote DOA has evil intents and is very destructive and all that. Again, this doesn't mean what people think it means. Like, these things have specific meanings in Scientology, and once you get labeled as an SP, you're considered the devil. Like, you're unbearably evil. Now, it's kind of weird because Aaron says SPs are good. I mean, he named his own propaganda network SPTV. SPTV is meant as an inside joke that if you're an SP, that's good, actually. And being part of the SPTV is good. So it seems that Aaron is saying DOA is SP, but that's bad now. Okay, that's kind of weird. But SPTV is good. Okay, so obviously to outsiders or new people, this will seem very confusing. I'm not confused. It's just a power struggle. So Aaron doesn't want DOA around because he's challenging his power. Well, what is his power? I guess making a lot of money from the Clearwater protests. We're putting that in quotation marks. Although you have to be careful because he's like, we're getting 20 people out there. I guess maybe maximum. I don't see that many people, frankly. In fact, Aaron bragged and even stated as a fact he doesn't want too many people because, again, if you have too many people at a protest, you have a certain legal responsibility, right? You have to do certain things legally. He doesn't want that. So apparently he just wants some people to show up to artificially make it seem as if he has a mass movement. So anyway, we're just going in a circle with two clown people going to fighting one another in a clownish manner. What is the point of all this? I don't know, but I don't like it. I always suspect the worst things with Aaron because the worst things turn out to be true. So I guess he thinks that if DOA goes away, he can reassert his kingpin control, Lex Luthor control of his propaganda network, and we can all, quote, follow orders and basically agree not to talk about him or his crimes because those crimes don't exist. So if we stop talking about it, magically they go away. Alrighty then. But to be fair, DOA did not just limit himself to Aaron. He says all the so-called anti-Scientology groups, I would assume he means the Aftermath Foundation too, he's very suspicious of them too. So his main target is Aaron. He doesn't like Aaron or what he's up to, but he's not too friendly towards the Aftermath people or Nora at this point. And Nora and the Aftermath people have their own issues with Aaron. And there we go. So we're kind of going around in a big circle. And Aaron, for some time, has tried to make DOA the scapegoat for everything going wrong. So, like, for instance, Google is not yet accepting his charity, which is a fake charity, for being a fake charity, and he's getting mad at that. So is DOA responsible? I guess so. I guess DOA controls Google. But trying to take a more serious perspective, I don't really know what Aaron's up to, right? I mean, he's definitely trying to do what's known as the dead agent package, destroy DOA, destroy his reputation. Okay, maybe, maybe not. I'm a more serious analytic person, so it's like, okay, if DOA has credibility problems on this or that issue, alrighty then. The Dant put out a video showing some disturbing evidence that he was caught red-handed filming a child. Now, I want to be fair. This is a thing. This whole thing about First Amendment auditing, that's the real thing. It has nothing to do with Scientology. It's just these First Amendment people who go around with their cameras in public and try to rile people up for money. So that's its own genre. I want to be fair there. And some of those First Amendment people do some good work. They even sometimes catch the Scientology people doing some pretty nasty things. So that's its own genre. So to be fair, I mean, in principle, you can justify this behavior, but it is suspicious. So on both sides of the table, Aaron is doing suspicious things, and DOA is doing very suspicious things. But what are we to make of it? I don't quite know. But at this point, I consider them both having trust issues, frankly. So if DOA wants to be destructive, that is his prerogative. He has rights. And if Aaron wants to be destructive, well, he has rights too. But in both cases, they're trying to, well, the nicest thing you could say is fit people into a mold. They would prefer protesting and or, quote, anti-Scientology be done a certain way. I always keep asking crazy questions. If people want to protest this or that manner, broadly speaking, they should be allowed to do that. But, DOA has different ideas and Aaron has different ideas. The question is, why aren't we just allowed more freedom of movement or more variety in our tactics? I don't know. I don't know. But I think it's lazy for people to just go back to the CIA or OSA as Nora does. At one point, Nora was accusing DOA of being a CIA, OSA, FBI operative. I highly doubt that the CIA, FBI, and OSA have a joint task force with DOA in charge. I highly doubt that. Do these things exist? I'm sure they do. I'm sure the CIA and FBI are watching these protests. That's what they do. And I'm sure definitely OSA is watching. But has OSA really created DOA? No, he predates DOA. No, I think these are independent actors, but there definitely may be some weird intercoursing or discoursing going on here. Maybe, but I need a little bit more evidence that quote unquote DOA is a Scientology spy. So I'm suspicious what Aaron is up to. I don't think he's ever up to anything good. But yeah, DOA has done more than enough suspicious things. We can question him on our own grounds. And that's where I stand. But definitely it's getting more and more weird and intriguing. So keep it locked in. And if you can sign up for channel memberships, that'd be great to support the channel. I will try to put up these things, buy me a coffee, so on and so forth. I usually do not try to be direct with support, but I can't lie. It's getting very tight with money. I'm trying to find employment as soon as possible, but it is getting rough out here. So if you can help out with super chats or channel memberships, I'd be appreciated. Thank you very much. Please be well.